All right. I'm not sure we need the... We're using the microphones, even though we might not necessarily need them while being here in this room. But this is because today's session will be live streamed, so that those who aren't able to attend here physically, some are going to be tuning in from Denmark and from Sweden through the online live stream, but we're also able to take part of it and listen in afterwards. So this is also important. You guys are not on camera. Those who are sitting here on the front are, yeah, and that includes you who are sitting here on the side. Yes. So we're very, very happy to have all of you here today. And before we start, I'll give you just a short little introduction to the event, to what we are going to be talking about today, and then introduce our main speaker, Roxy. Okay. So my name is Christian. I am the board member of Northern Impact, and I just left my position as chairman of the Global Shapers here in Malmo. They are different NGOs that work on local change. With Northern Impact, we are working about the transition of venture capital towards impact as my main track. And then with Global Shapers, we work on a lot of local initiatives, predominantly with a focus on youth. And individually, I work as a venture builder, working on clean tech startups predominantly. So I was born in Copenhagen, but I grew up on this side of the bridge. And one of the things that has been very fascinating for me once I got into the startup ecosystem is finding out how everyone here in the region is way more likely to go up to Stockholm for a conference or an event rather than to Copenhagen. That is literally just 20-30 minutes away. There's plenty of people living in Copenhagen for whom Malmo is closer than their offices in Copenhagen, but the likelihood of them coming for an event or workshop or collaborating here in Malmo is also very, very small. And therefore, we're going to be having some of these sessions throughout the autumn, looking at how can we collaborate better between Copenhagen and Malmo and build an ecosystem, build a community together. But obviously we're not first. Many of you work already with connecting people across the bridge, and there's also many organizations today that work with connecting people across the bridge. And some of them are, of course, you who are here. Thank you very much. I'm very happy to see you from Level and some representatives from Mink as well, helping your entrepreneurs collaborate and grow their businesses. But we need to do so much more. There's also, for example, Öresund Business. Many don't know about it. They have experts within different areas to make sure that you know what are the rights you have, how can you employ someone, or what does it mean for you if you want to work across the bridge in, for example, Copenhagen. But today, I'm very, very excited to introduce Roxy Dat, the community manager of TechBBQ and the founder of Fail Forward, who is going to talk a little bit more about what are some of those opportunities that we should evaluate, and what is something that we can actually expect from Copenhagen, and why should we even consider taking that very short train ride across the bridge. So thank you very much for being here today, and welcome, Roxy.
Thank you. I have this one. Thank you. Oh, I can hear myself even. Okay. It's more than I thought. Hi, guys. I'm going to sit down because despite this feeling super official and so on, I'm not the best speaker that does huge conferences and so on. So bear with me. But I'm happy to be here. I'm happy that you guys are here. And I'm happy that we can start some conversations about this. Just a short background about myself and for your understanding of the context of why I'm interested in exploring some of this sort of, whether they're partnerships, whether they're opportunities, whether they're any sort of ideas that we can collaborate between ecosystems. I am Romanian, so I'm not Danish, I'm not Swedish. I have been a student in Denmark, so I know how it is to be foreign and also not to know necessarily everything that an ecosystem has to offer. I am a founder, so I also have been in a position where I don't know all the opportunities that the ecosystem has to offer to and for a founder. I have managed co-working spaces, so I also know how to be in that position of like, how can I attract more opportunities to the founders and the companies in my workspace or in my physical space. I organize events, so that's another position to be of like, how can we bring more opportunities of speakers in front of an audience to bring more value and amongst the ecosystems. And also I work with an NGO, which is TechBBQ. So I like to believe that just being in different shoes, right? And I'm supposedly, even you guys, you all have different profiles. Some of you are students, some of you work with companies, some of you work with workspaces and want to attract opportunities. I suppose that's what we're trying to explore today, basically. So the objective itself, it's not to have all the answers. Today, I don't have all the answers, like I mentioned a bit earlier. I'm hoping that you guys have some of the answers, or at least some questions that we can then take and do our homework on our sides of the bridge, and then come back to a meetup like this and explore more in a practical manner. But it's supposedly what I did do for today. I went around and asked questions, essentially. I asked questions to different companies that either work on both sides of the bridge, or being as part of TechBBQ, why are they even coming to TechBBQ from here? And maybe that could be a question to ask you guys, right? Because Mink is coming to TechBBQ, I suppose some of you working with workspaces. So it could be interesting to understand why. And then I made some notes on some slides of what becomes apparent, and then inviting questions and so on. And of course, nonetheless, TechBBQ, why should you even consider? When is it happening? What is it about? Where does it sit in the middle of this ecosystem? And I suppose what's the value that we want to create with it? That's kind of the agenda, but remember that, I'm not an expert in this, so let's invite, open conversations and questions and so on. The collaboration, right, between Malmö and Copenhagen, we are not the first ones to sort of initiate that. There's a lot of different, cross collaborations that are currently happening. Is it enough? No. If it was enough, probably we wouldn't want to discuss this, and we wouldn't be here, right? So despite being different countries, I was laughing with Christian this morning. It took, from my house to here, Goto 10, it took me 40 minutes. From my house to the beach in Copenhagen, which I go every Sunday, it takes me 50 minutes. So it's even more like, it just brings some perspective in my world of like, why shouldn't I take this trip and explore a little bit more connections and opportunities on this side of the bridge and the other way around, right? And of course, we are close, right, in terms of the trip that we can take, but we are quite different, and different advantages come from different ecosystems, and that's the point. The Øresund Bridge links the two cities, and it makes it easy to travel, but it's also like, it allows us to use the strengths on both sides and almost leverage what's good here, what's good there, and have a little bit of a bigger growth and bigger perspective, right? And in a few slides following this is just a few ideas of how different startups in Malmö can collaborate with us in Copenhagen. And I would also like to open the question, I suppose, for either today or moving forward, on what can we then come and join in your ecosystem, and what should we look forward to that is happening in your side. So yeah, a few points. Access to a market, to a larger market, right? So Copenhagen is part of the larger Danish market. It just happens to be super close to travel to, and has an access to a significant portion of the Nordic region, right? So in terms of collaboration, startups from Malmo can partner with Copenhagen-based businesses, and just even whether to enter the market or ask the questions on how to leverage the Danish market, whether it's product, services, people, and so on. And co-hosting events and product launches that targets a wider audience that have similar, not identical, but similar needs. The talent pool. Copenhagen has a large international workforce, which is it's valid here in Malmo as well, and also the Swedish talent that we can have access to from Copenhagen here, and that's an example of this, for example, and I'll talk about TechBBQ a little bit later on. But what we've done with TechBBQ, we are happy to have one of our colleagues is Swedish, as in she lives in Malmo, and she travels over the bridge to work with us at TechBBQ to bring her perspective there. Of course, Swedish companies come to TechBBQ for a while now, so it's not like we don't have a collaboration already, but having a team member, I suppose, that lives here gives us a little bit of perspective of how, like, what more can we do and how can we reach different companies, different people, different talent, and so on. And also startups in Malmo can benefit from coming over the bridge and finding, I suppose, diverse international talent, and engage with hiring or joint ventures. There are exchange programs. I think, yeah, you are part of an exchange program, right? From somewhere else. Yes. Yeah. So it could be quite, of course, like it doesn't involve this over the bridge, but it's a similar, I suppose, yeah, similar approach. And yeah, different work arrangements that allow employees to work across both locations. Access to capital. Copenhagen has a developed venture capital scene with access to both local and international investors. One of the things that we focus on at TechBBQ as well, we attract, of course, the Nordic scene of investors. One of my roles in TechBBQ is to attract people and investors from across Europe and abroad. So even just by inviting people to TechBBQ, we can allow space for them to then reach a wider range of international investors, from, yeah, whether it's from the Nordics or internationally. So that's one of our roles. So Malmo startups can tap into Copenhagen investments and the investment ecosystem by participating in pitch events, venture forums, setting up a presence in the Copenhagen startup hubs, and then the Copenhagen startups can look into the Swedish investors. How do we do that? That's a question to ask, right? And how can we have like more practical points? Again, it's a conversation to start. Innovation hubs and co-working spaces. Both cities have that, and both cities have thriving workspaces and thriving innovative spaces that foster growth. Of course, everyone has it in their hometown. Can we cross-collaborate? Can we do whether it's events that are joint, like this one, right? Some people are, yeah, well, I'm from Copenhagen and some of them are online. You guys are from here. It's a start, and we are facilitated by a co-working space. Startups can participate in joint innovation programs, accelerate their innovations and initiatives, co-working arrangements, I suppose just to tap into different networks, and then a lot of opportunities come from there. Hi, you can join us if you'd like. Thank you. There's also some pillows I saw for a bit more comfort if everyone needs. Hi. Yes. And one thing that I found when I moved to Copenhagen and I was a new startup founder, I had a membership in a co-working space called Soho in Copenhagen, and I didn't really need a full office. So what we've done, we took an office and we shared it with different companies that were working in different markets. I was working on the UK market at the time, and just by sharing a physical space with companies that were working on the Swedish market and on the Danish market, it was my first introduction to the Danish ecosystem of like how consumers think and how the products work and where to go to the next event and so on. So physical spaces have a huge also opportunity but also responsibility to, I suppose, foster this sort of growth, which I appreciated when I needed it. Yes, regulatory synergies. So each country has unique regulations and regulatory environments that can be leveraged to benefit startups or students or workforce or and so on and so forth, right? Startups can collaborate to navigate the requirements across borders. I know that there is Orison Business that has a lot of information, I suppose, of how some of these regulations can be made easy and can be, I suppose, used to foster growth. I don't have the answers for that, but I understand that the answers are easy to find. And also, if we know some of the key people, some of the right people, and I know Christian is going to say a few words about that, and then, yeah, if anyone is interested, I'm definitely interested to find out more answers there. But yeah, MAMO-based startups could establish subsidiaries in Copenhagen to benefit from the Danish regulations on certain types of financial services, for example, and the other way around. But that's another initiative. Culture and knowledge exchange, right? Both cities have cultural approaches that are different. We are very close, but there's a lot of, I suppose, different consumer behavior that we have on both sides, but also a lot of similarities that we can synergize to build growth on innovation, essentially. So even organizing workshops or seminars that can help, I suppose, startups learn from each other's experiences, but also from each other's markets. And these events could be hosted alternatively, either in Malmö or in Copenhagen. I would love to have the opportunity to sort of find space and help host some events that we can then take from here to there, and of course use spaces like this to bring some knowledge from Copenhagen ecosystem to here. And major industries, proximity, right? Copenhagen has strengths in some industries, and Malmö has strengths in different industries. Depend on, of course, like on which side of those industries you are. How can we find synergies across the bridge to ask the questions and pretty much like have shortcuts in terms of knowledge and relationship building. One thing that we talked with Christian a bit earlier is like, where are the hubs for different industries that you are interested on? So like if you were to take a train across the bridge and you're interested in a specific industry, like hard tech, for example, where should you go first to get your answers right away? So that's my homework for next time, essentially. But yes, startups can form cross-border partnerships and leverage this industry strengths, I suppose. And an example is a Malmo-based gaming company could collaborate with the Copenhagen fintech firm to develop different financial products. Or a Copenhagen clean tech startup could work with the Malmo design firm to create the product, the user-friendly product. So that's just examples of companies doing different initiatives. Hi, welcome, you can take a seat. Hi. It's becoming interesting. I think there's different skills that we are showcasing. But yeah, educational and research collaboration. There's someone from Lund University, I think it's 2 people, yes, 3 people, 4 people, yes. Yeah, we breed entrepreneurs there. That's what I heard. I recently found out a little bit more about how the program is established and why that happens. It's not a way of education that I was used to in where I come from, for example. So even just that, focus on practicality, there's a lot of different people that reach out to Lund University to even just get ideas on workshops or anything that is practical to sort of develop their crowd. Of course, University of Copenhagen has its strengths, and yeah, Lund University and other universities here have their strengths. Different talents come from different sides of the bridge. How can we bring them together, essentially? And how can startups reach talent from both pools based on the needs, I suppose? One thing with TechBBQ, we established a project called Tech Talent, where talent from the Nordics can apply, and then companies from the Nordics can apply. And then with the matchmaking tool, we can put talent and need together, so then they can meet, right? That's a way of initiating this. And that, of course, happens during TechBBQ in 2 weeks from now. But what else is there that we can create, whether it's events, whether it's initiatives to put together so we can meet talent across the bridge based on needs? And yeah, networking and community building, I suppose that's the interest of both myself and Christian. But even just the fact of coming to here today, I can't claim that I know everything about even my own ecosystem. Of course, the Swedish ecosystem, that's the point of me being here. If anything, it's learning from you guys, and if anything, gathering the questions that you may have that I can then, like I said earlier, go back to Copenhagen, gather some answers, and come back to you with the answers and with the options, essentially. But yeah, establishing cross-border startup networks, meetups, collaborative events. One thing that we were talking that is, if you are interested in at least learning or going across the bridge and understanding what can you leverage in your position, right? Whether it's startup, whether it's talent, whether it's community space, and so on. We have the town hall, Copenhagen Town Hall, that happens once a quarter. It's one of the events that, yeah, the idea of that event is for everyone to meet each other. And then from there, whether you are an investor, whether you're a startup, whether you are on whichever side of this stakeholder group, meet someone that you can then collaborate with, but also learn about the ecosystem, what's happening in the Danish ecosystem currently. And because it's every quarter, it's all the news and regulations, or what's new, what happened, who raised money, who didn't, and so on, you get the answers to these events. And also some of us that are quite involved in the Danish ecosystem are present, so we can actually take you guys under our wing essentially and introduce you to people. It's pretty much what Christian is doing with me today, right? Taking me here, introducing me to you guys, and then we take it from there. It's not perfect today, but the idea is to see, like, do you have some answers to my questions, and do I have some answers to yours? And then we take it from there. But yeah, to conclude, just recognizing that there's things to leverage. There are complementary strengths on both sides that can be used to create a vibrant, interconnected sort of ecosystem. Of course, we can think startup ecosystem in Copenhagen and startup ecosystem here in Malmö, but is there a way to think the ecosystem altogether between these two cities? And if yes, then what are pretty much like the fast steps to take on both sides of the bridge? So Malmö-based individuals, which is you guys, and institutions can access large networks, investors, mentorships from global entrepreneurs, opportunities to participate to events, and programs that we mentioned earlier, and consider either partnering or collaborating with different Copenhagen-based companies, institutions, NGOs, events, and be it. And we can do the same here. And focusing cross-border, border projects. What projects can we create or get involved that are already existent? So yeah, staying engaged, I suppose, on both startup scenes. We can significantly enhance growth essentially in this pool. And yeah, those were just some questions that I thought could be easy to ask. I have a few slides here about TechBBQ itself.
Very soon.
Yes, it's a busy time at TechBBQ. We seem calm, but everything happens in the same time. It's 2 weeks to the event. But I want to ask you guys, does everyone know what is TechBBQ? When is TechBBQ? Why should we go to TechBBQ? Do we have these answers? Because I know some of you have been.
Knows about TechBBQ from before.
Okay. So a good amount of people. I like. You can join if you want, unless you're comfortable there. There. I think we do sit quite a lot these days, so I'm with you. But yeah, a bit of context. So I personally started with TechBBQ in May, so quite new. However, I have been volunteering with TechBBQ in the past. TechBBQ was my way into understanding the Danish ecosystem when I moved to Copenhagen. It's quite fun to be a struggling founder and be in an event like TechBBQ and meet other struggling founders that are also looking for answers. That was me 3 years ago. I decided to volunteer with TechBBQ because I heard the word barbecue, so I thought it should be fun. There was indeed barbecue at the event, but essentially it is an event of, this year we're expecting 8,000 to 9,000 people, so we're expecting it to be the biggest event so far. It started, just a little bit of context, in 2003 as a gathering of tech enthusiasts that, again, had questions and didn't know what to do with them, so they just thought they will meet and ask each other, and maybe together they can find some answers. Of course, different growth. Corona happened in the middle, which was an online event apparently that went great. And it keeps growing. And the reason why it's growing is because what TechBBQ is trying to be and is wanting to be and has the vision to be is to be the Nordic startup ecosystem catalyst, but also a European event now, and that's why I am there. An ecosystem, of course, is built by different stakeholder groups, right? From, like we said, from talent to physical spaces, to universities, to investors, to startups, to scale-ups, to corporates, right? If there is a place to put them all together and get them not only to meet each other and network, but also bring the hot topics of the season, I suppose, on and stay on top of the curve of like what's new, what's innovative, what's happening, and how can we do more of that. That's essentially what we're trying to do with TechBBQ. So we sit in the middle of the ecosystem and we're trying to bring people to it so they can, so we can grow essentially together, right? This year is also a big focus on a lot of different international companies in these stakeholder groups, whether they are NGOs from different countries, where there are investment funds from different countries in Europe and abroad. So it's even more so, we are just across the bridge here. Of course, we have a focus on the Nordics, but can we, I suppose, incentivize or motivate more people from the southern Sweden to join in and add value and get value, and also, I suppose, leverage the fact that we are bringing people from all over Europe in one space for 2 days. TechBBQ happens on the 11th and 12th of September, so that's very soon. We put up the program publicly on the website today. So, woohoo. You can go through the website and see who's coming, who's speaking, what's the actual program for 2 days. We also did prepare a small incentives for this group, whether online or whether you guys, if you have not planned to join in yet, we would like to make it easy for you and answer your questions why you should be there. Ask your questions to me, to Christian, or we will write to you or you will write to us. It would be great if you wanted to join, let us know. I can tell you a bit about it, or I can just show you. I have the video here that my colleagues put together from last year. And we also have sound, so I'll try my best to say again. I actually didn't. It shows that it's on. Oof, it's on. That's what I thought also, and I asked for help, and then I realized.
We're back here at TechBBQ 2023.
This is where you have people who are building infrastructure.
Some tech conferences, they can be a little bit dry, but I certainly haven't had that experience here. There's lots of people from all over the world, which is really interesting. The vibe here is cool.
I'm from Africa. I'm here because TechBBQ recognized the importance that we need in a global village. That is the spirit of TechBBQ.
The first thing I noticed is just the diversity of the businesses. It's so many cool and interesting startups. It's one of the first times I've actually stopped at the booths to see what they're doing.
TechBBQ is on one side a showroom for companies being able to demonstrate all the good stuff you've built, and at the same time a place where you connect with the most important people in your industry.
I love that it's indoor, outdoor. It's just more intimate, which I think is really nice.
TechBBQ
is so committed to diversity and inclusion. So I'm really loving the content and the commitment to ensuring the tech is more diverse, inclusive, and welcoming and supportive of all.
TechBBQ is an inclusive space. Every single stage I see is both. You need to connect with people, you need to connect with partners, you need to connect with other products, you need to connect with investors, colleagues. And I think TechBBQ is such an incredible opportunity to do that.
So yeah, that's that. And then my YouTube is being sneaky. I don't have YouTube Prime, as you can see. Yeah, well, you would be surprised. Who does, actually? See, there you go. Well, that was actually one of the things that, yeah, not too long ago, I did not have so many ads on the free version of YouTube, but now it almost makes it like, yeah, you need to, but again, I guess I don't spend enough time on YouTube to justify that. But yes, my colleagues put that video together from last year. Just yeah, to give perspective in, I don't know, a minute and a half or how much that was, of like what's actually happening at TechBBQ. I don't have all the words, right? But I hope it helped build some perspective. And yeah, that's pretty much, of course, I have a few slides here that shows some numbers and some, I suppose, different initiatives that we do in TechBBQ. But apart from that, I suppose today would also be used to hear from some of you guys and from Christian again on how maybe some questions, or maybe we have some answers about our soon business that we can explore, or that I can also hear and take home for my homework side of the bridge. Yes, that's pretty much it, I suppose. Yep. I'll put.
I can imagine that hopefully some of you already have some questions for Roxy, whether it is about.
I'll put the main slide on.
Oh,
so.
right, yeah, the backdrop. About. There we go. Okay. So please let me welcome you up here, and thank you very much for being with us.
Thank you. Well, my name is Åsa Krog, and I work at Level Malmö. And Level Malmö was started approximately 3 years ago as a project between Tillväxt Malmö, Almi, and Companion. And we were supposed to help the startup community that didn't feel welcome in the system or the ecosystem that exists in Malmö today. So our focus was on foreign-born entrepreneurs and especially on women. So we worked for 3 years, got a lot of understanding of our target group, which is a minority in Malmö and not getting the help that they are getting in other parts of town. And that's also why we're located at Mobilia. We have a fantastic office, 300 square meters. And what we also offer is the people who are in coaching with us, because we say coaching, we don't give straightforward advices in that sense. We make coaching sessions with our customers. And so they feel comfortable coming, sharing the space with us. They can also sit at our community tables. We have a few, not so many. And we also do different kind of events that is important for our entrepreneurs to understand. That can be everything from the Swedish market. What do I need to understand about my customer to get a good business going? We have budgets and business plans that we work very directly with our clients. Mohammed, my colleague, he's an expert on budgets. And so we do different things. But I would say mainly we actually don't have so many tech companies. We have what you call bread and butter companies, people who are becoming, a shoester. We talk about sustainability, but who is going to repair our shoes if nobody starts to become a shoester? Then that's not sustainable. We throw away expensive shoes because we can't get them repaired. So we have the majority of our companies are types are either consultants. It could be also the diner around the corner. We have quite a few within the food, and especially now lately, food truck. We have a new guy who has his food truck. I can give a little advice. Go to him. He's at what's it called again? Outside Rusta, Svågertorp. He has fantastic burgers. Yeah, addictive burgers. We were allowed to try them all before he started. So that's what we mainly work with. Of course, we're interested in the tech arena because every now and then people are coming. We have one client, fantastic guy. He's a diabetic nurse, and he works a lot with clients on the net to offer them how to live a normal life with diabetes 1. And he's also an athletic, how do you say, athlete. And so he started this platform now, and he has about 10 customers. He started this summer. And that's typical for preventional care. We have a lot of clients who are looking into preventional care. What can we do to help the Swedish health system survive? So there we have also a lot of clients. And Balkis, who is also with me here, she works with the youth, 18 to 25-year-olds. There's a huge community, over 200 people you've been working with this summer. So that has been fantastic to see. Yeah, at Mind Park in, yeah. So I was there. So they're actually having a Dragon's Den with all the young people now in 2 weeks. Yeah, at Level. So we try to help maybe the people who are not so into the system and don't know how to maneuver in Malmö and where to go and feel a little bit awkward, maybe don't feel that they fit in everywhere. And we try to make it as creative and open for them as possible. And I would like also to introduce Monica, because she's our big sister, Tillväxt Malmö. Tillväxt Malmö works with growth companies. So when you're, do you want to say something? Okay, I continue. Yeah. And so they work with bigger companies. So they're like 5 employees, a turnover of 5 million, and that's other different type of business development that you offer. You also have Maxa Malmö, which is a type of a dragon den every year, where you can meet investors who are interested in investing in the right ideas and companies. So that's us. Thank you. Thank you for inviting us.
Thank you for that. And I think I'll throw the ball a little bit quickly back to Roxy on the topic of, as you talked about tech and how not the majority of the startups and entrepreneurs that come to you in Southern Malmö aren't necessarily tech entrepreneurs. But then at the same time, can you really even build any kind of business, even a food truck, without using tech and being at least partly an entrepreneur that leverages tech? to be successful. And I would say that today that would be really, really hard. And we have quite a diversity of, diverse group of people here. I know I'm very happy to see Carolina here, who is a social entrepreneur. We have entrepreneurs who come from different kinds of backgrounds, but all of us, in one way or another, are leveraging tech and are leveraging tech more and more. If I would ask who here hasn't used ChatGPT or some other solution to help them with their, yeah, I would expect almost everybody to raise their hand. And if you aren't, then you definitely should, because the technology can definitely help you get some of that feedback. But I'm really, really happy that we have spaces such as Level that are inclusive and open for people to come in and join. And I hope that Malmö, Copenhagen, the Öresund region can also feel open and inclusive, just like what you are working on achieving just here inside of the city, here in Malmö. That we shouldn't be afraid, and we should be happy to see the opportunities to leverage and scale our businesses. So before I continue with the Q&A, I'm thinking, let's take this one. And I'd love if you just take...
More.
All right. So,
Is it gonna work now?
hello? Okay, so we're back to this microphone then. All right, well, no, well, thank you, and, and welcome this time. Yes. All right, then I will give it to the person in the room who is the best at budgeting, I'm told.
My name is Mohammed, work as a business developer, Level, in general, and specialized in budgeting, financing, yeah, that's it. Numbers.
Hi, my name is Monica, and I work at Tillväxt Malmö, Growth Malmö, and as business developer. And as also told you guys, we work with SME companies, and we have a program where we work with the companies with their challenges, how they want to grow with their revenues or sales, etc.
Hi, my name is Vidu. I am a student of EIT food, so I study at Lund University.
Hello, my name is Sarah. I work as a consultant here in the building, mainly within product management, tech. But as I have a background from Almi as an advisor in innovation and finance, so I'm still involved in the startup community around here. Yeah.
Well, so I'm just an exchange student. I'm actually from Belgium, and I'm studying then business engineering back home, and then here just doing some courses. And I was just here today to get to know a little bit more the ecosystem of Copenhagen and Malmö, because it seems really interesting.
You're not the guy that biked from Belgium, right?
No.
No, okay. Because I read there was a Belgium exchange student. Hello, everyone. My name is Angel. I have experience with startups and scale-ups, mainly in business development and sales. Currently running my own startup, but back in my home country in Macedonia, which is a mental health care marketplace, let's call it. Yeah.
We have friends, but I didn't know that. Okay. Hi, everyone. I'm Carolina. I'm originally from Lithuania. Have been living in Malmö on and off since 2016, I believe. Now I'm a co-founder of an NGO called Wellbeing Lab. Christian is our board member. Yay. So we are based here, but we work on a European level, and we work a little bit with North Africa and Middle East. And ultimately, well, we have, I guess, two main drives. So one is to make well-being accessible for everyone, because actually it can be very expensive. And the second thing I would say is that we want people to do what they love, so discovering their purpose and drive in life, and while doing it, to thrive instead of sacrificing their mental health and well-being. And I think, well, we work with many groups: youth, entrepreneurs, healthcare workers, social workers, I think politicians, universities. So, yeah, almost, I guess, every group you can think about except children and teenagers, because we don't have expertise in that. And we don't have an office, so mostly when we have our events, our office is the forest or somewhere by the lake. So we really love to bring people back to the nature and to actually disconnect from technology a little bit. And apart from that, I think we try kind of create different things like game boards, board games, different materials like escape rooms, so to kind of make it also more fun to work on yourself, especially for younger generations.
Yes, thank you. Yeah, hello everybody. My name is Hiromi. I'm a project manager for a project called the Japan Business and Innovation Hub, located at the MINC, the Malmö city's startup place, the place. This project is started this May. It's an intention to just accelerate the business and the innovation between Malmö region. Sorry to Copenhagen, you are included. But it's actually at the Malmö, Copenhagen, and Lund, this area, and we are working both with the startups and also the corporate. We want to come Japanese here, and we want to send our startups companies to Japan. So this is what we do. I do together with.
Yeah. Yes, that's what we do together. And we're situated at MINC. If you don't know what MINC is, it's the Malmö Incubator. It's like a company, but it's owned by Malmö City, so it's financed by taxpaying money, which means that all the services there are for free. But it's specifically for startups. There's a few different programs, like from seed stage to startups and then scale-ups. Yeah, so, and a lot of tech focus, but yeah, that's MINC.
Hi, I'm Marco, and my co-founder's over there, Arlen. Wave. Hello. I'm the CEO, he's the COO of Malcolm Invest here in Malmö. And my background is mainly investments, investment banking, all those kind of things. So we've been put our expertise together to help startup companies, not so early stage, but later on, with financing and investments and corporate strategy, growth, whatever they need. So we can help them through life up to exits and IPOs and you name it. We focus on Malmö, Lund, of course, but Copenhagen, I've been working a lot in Copenhagen, so both with startups in Copenhagen here, so I do promote, we try to promote as much as possible this whole region. For me, it's one region, and especially to investors from Stockholm, to try to get investments down here. So that's what we try to do on a daily basis to really bring forward the future that is our region, which will leave Stockholm behind. Exactly, exactly. We talked to a VC company up in Stockholm last week, and we were saying that when there's a pitch event or something similar, there's usually like 20 bankers, and there's like one company to pitch, more or less, right? So it's not exactly says, yeah, that's the case. So everybody's fighting for the companies. So yeah, that's me.
Hi, I'm Nico. I just moved to Malmö 5 days ago, so that's why I'm here. Thank you. I have a background in cybersecurity, and I was quite involved in different initiatives in Munich, Germany, from where I moved here, on the startup ecosystem there. So that's why I'm trying to explore the Copenhagen and the Malmö ecosystem as well now. No. The weather. So actually, I think the last couple of days the weather was great here, and not really good. Not really good in Munich. So let's see. Hopefully.
Hi, I'm Clara. I'm from Munich too, by the way. Nice to meet you. I also moved here. We are new students here at Malmö University, studying leadership and organization for me. I worked in the communications sector before, so I was a communication analyst, and yeah, I'm curious for the new startups in here in Malmö, and I'm curious to get involved also. Yeah.
Hi everyone, I'm Nilufar. I have, just like the other two, I've just arrived in Malmö 5 days ago to study leadership for sustainability in Malmö University. I was just curious, like Clara, and she proposed that we come here and see about how it is going on a startup in Copenhagen and Malmö, and I'm happy to be here, and thank you.
Hi everyone, I am Sebastian from Ecuador, and now I am studying a master in human ecology at Lund University. I am very passionate about innovation and sustainability, and all my life I tried to connect both, so that's why I like this kind of events. And yeah, I'm trying to think about an idea to start a startup now. My goal is to create an environmental digital coin, but I'm still figuring out how to do it, so yeah, that's it.
So yeah, I've been trying to figure out what to say. I guess I'm a serial entrepreneur and kind of software developer. My main company is OnIQ Vision, and we build prototypes or MVPs mostly for small companies, small mid companies in the field of computer vision and AI. So from basically from an idea to something you can show investors or users or customers. So things which does not exist on the market yet. So, and my other company right now is a company called SizeWall, where we take 2 images with a smartphone of a person and try to calculate the body measurements. We actually calculate a 3D avatar for the person, and then you can get your measurements, mainly for buying clothes, but also for fitness, where we actually have a little bit more traction than in the clothing industry right now. So that's a prototype we developed as consultants, but now we are also invested in it. So, yeah.
My name is Victor. I came a year ago from Israel, originally from Ukraine. I'm just interested in anything about the future. It could be anything environmental, technological, or just perception about what is possible and how we can change our interaction and our communication to actually solve our problems that we have today, like scarcity, environment problems. I joined my relative's company called Item, and they creating alternative foods, like using insects, which is not something that people eager to now to taste, but some people already started to explore this direction. So, and I'm interested in my personal project, which is related to eyesight improvement in natural ways, which is helping people to see without needing any surgery or glasses or whatever. Yeah, that's.
Haven't everybody when we but hi, my name is Tommy. I is just examinated data science student, currently working with the computer vision projects in Finland. My transition into data science has been working on my general tech interest and programming has always been something I enjoyed, but hadn't had any training in.
Hey, I'm Anna. I come from Georgia, but not the US state, but the country. My professional background includes working there in Georgia at some research companies, and now I've been working there remotely for ages as a lead of branding and analytics team. Since last year, I've been working there remotely, and the reason I'm here is my personal and educational interests. Last year, I've started my master's degree, which is offered by two universities here. One is Lund University and another Copenhagen. And the program aim of the program is to give us the knowledge in applied cultural analysis, which means, it is based on mostly qualitative research methodologies, generally based on ethnographic methods, but in an applied world and without limiting sectors or the fields. And this is why I'm trying to explore more about this region and this key topic of connecting these two countries and finding where are the gaps and how they might be filled. It seems pretty interesting for me.
Hello everyone. Hi. My name is Trim. I was born in London. I have roots from the Balkans, and I moved to Sweden 6 years ago. Professional background, I did the entrepreneurship program at Lund University. After that, I worked at a medtech startup called Medbeat, which actually sits at the Mink incubator on the other side of the water, mostly within business development. They're actually on the Dragon's Den this season, if you want to go and watch them. And now I actually work for Almi as well. And brief about Almi. Almi offers both financing and business development / advice to newly started companies, scale-ups, every different sizes, both grants and loans. I work there as an innovation advisor, and actually I'm project leading the part where we have a booth at TechBBQ as Southern Sweden. So if you manage to go to TechBBQ, you shall be seeing us at the Southern Sweden border, and you can come and hang out with us as well if you ever need to, a little small center. So yeah, that's me.
Thank you. So my name is Olo, or Arlen. Everything that sounds like that is still okay. Some people answer, hello, but what is your name? Anyway, I've spent some years in the startup ecosystem, both working in startups as a country manager to have my own startup. And now, and last time I have been with Skåne Startups as a CEO, but now I am together with Marco, who already introduced you a little bit to Malcolm Invest, but what we basically do in a few sentences for the people who already forgot is we make companies grow in the later stages. So when you're done with the early stages, when you're done in Mink, you come to us and we help you with everything you need, and also planning your way forward. Can be good to have a plan if you going to embark on that journey. Yeah, that's it. I want to also give an advice. Now we almost had everyone. I heard that it's very good to have it on your chin when you speak. So next time when you have a microphone in your hand, that also makes sure that the people in the online hear what you say. Sorry for the late mention.
Thank you. So my name is Brian. The reason why I've asked the gentleman if he's been hunted by a Viking, because I've been hunted by a Viking. When people ask me, so what brought you to Sweden? I say, I've been hunted by a Viking. So sorry if you didn't get that joke. So my ex brought me from Switzerland. I'm half Sudanese, half English. I was born in the Middle East. I'm currently building 2 startups, one within the digital mental health. I'm making the very first marketplace dedicated for Middle Easterns globally when it comes to seeking mental care support. Realize there's nearly 45 million of us live in the US and EU. So I'm building this now, and I have a patent under process to be the very first company that offers cross-border prescription, which means I can get a medicine prescribed by a psychiatrist in the US that I live in Malmö, and I can go and collect it from the pharmacy. Simultaneously, I'm also started to build a company called Escrow Livery. That is, I discovered there's a big problem when it comes to shoppers on Facebook Marketplace. Today, to be the largest market globally, Facebook Marketplace, shoppers experience problems with the scamming, phishing, delivery problems, and the list goes on. Facebook had to hire Accenture, where they have 400 employees. They're solving 240,000 complaints every day for these problems. So Escrow Livery, the mission for Escrow Livery to be offering the escrow service as a neutral middleman, and also to offer delivery to the product, and additionally the BMPL, which is buy now, pay later. I've started this company, this journey, just 3 weeks ago. I've gathered the team, and we are now testing a product, and hopefully to be the first company globally that offers this one-stop shop, for customers and consumers, also helping the, with the sustainability, so you can safely sell and buy items on Facebook. So that's in a nutshell myself and what I do. Thank you so much once again.
Hi, I'm Alice, and I've been taking notes of what everyone is doing because I think it's so interesting. I am newly graduated from Malmö University as a product designer, and I've went next door to Mink, and I'm currently doing 2 internships, but I always like doing more. So I'm doing 1 internship for AID, which is for men's health, and 1 for Minimal, which is for women's health. So I'm learning a lot more about marketing and stuff and networking. So that's why I'm here, to learn more. So yeah.
And we actually have 2 more people out here. I'm thinking, would you like to quickly introduce yourself? This is about building a community, and I think I'd love to know, get to know all of you.
Hello. Can you hear me now?
No worries. Thank you so much for joining us. And yeah, come and visit them at Level, and they're actually really, really nice location.
Yeah, very nice. I remember.
All right.
I was actually about to leave the building, and I just saw people like here talking, and I was curious what's up. I am a software developer. I'm actually from Turkey, and I have been in Sweden for like 4 days, and I will leave. Yeah, and I will leave in 4 days. I was just visiting relative here. I really like Sweden, and I really love this place that I was working. I needed an office, and I could just use this space for free, and I actually love it. I don't know why I'm speaking right now, and why you're listening to me.
Because we believe in creating community and an international community, and quite a few of you here are actually also from across the world. You're not the only one who has been here for less than a week, so this is wonderful, and thank you. I hope you have enjoyed your time here in Malmö, and we hope to see you back. We need more tech talent. I mean, Sweden is in a situation where, according to the latest estimation, we are lacking 180,000 people who have the tech skills and the tech competences. So I hope to see you back here, and hopefully not just back here at Goto 10, but back in Malmö, back in Sweden.
And yeah, thank you for joining us, even if it's very, very short. Yes.
Hi everyone, my name is Björn. I'm originally from Sweden, but I spent most of my professional life abroad. So I lived 10 years in Berlin, I lived for a while in Kuala Lumpur. I've been running businesses in Romania. Sadly the last one was killed by COVID. And the second lockdown, yeah, we did a fitness marketplace called FitPass. Very catchy and good name actually. We're very proud of getting that as a domain in Romania. I have yeah, decade plus in product and product leadership, especially in SaaS. I'm a big believer in software as a service, especially B2B. That's what I do currently. I work for a Berlin-based SaaS company that offers feedback and reputation management software for especially hospitality, specifically hotels and bigger chains that have many multi-locations. They need to manage their reviews and their feedback and everything across many locations, so we make that easy for them. And other than that, yeah, I spent quite a bit of time tinkering around. I have a good friend of mine actually lives in Copenhagen. Try to get him to join us here today. He was busy sadly, but we're tinkering a lot with what I would call micro SaaS, so very niche SaaS solutions, solving a very specific problem. And we haven't really found product market fit yet with any of our ventures, but that's basically something I do outside of work, more as a bit of a hobby, and eventually I could turn back to the entrepreneurial route. Yeah, unfortunately it didn't play out when I was younger, so that's why I'm now 9 to 5 CPO at a tech company in Berlin from here. But I live in Malmö since 2 years.
Wonderful, and well, I mean, now you got to know a group of more people, so who might be able to make you succeed, and then we have. Would you like to quickly introduce yourself as well?
I'm here for the interest about entrepreneurship and what you guys were talking about. I work as a data analyst in Denmark, and interestingly, I wrote a PhD on entrepreneurial ecosystem. So I was, yeah. Yeah, so that was surprisingly very interesting. So I joined the talk, and thank you so much for information I didn't know about the barbecue. So I'll look at it. Yeah, and thank you for the introductions.
Thank you. So, but let me invite Roxy back. So we have just a couple of more announcements left before we are gonna round off within the time, which is always beautiful. So Roxy, before we let you tackle on any of the questions that might be still in the minds of our participants today, I wanted to ask if there's anyone who has asked any questions online. No, not yet. Okay. But we do have some deal for them who have attended today's session, right? For TechBBQ. Yes. We do have the email addresses for those of you who have signed up through the Goto website. We will do a follow-up email where we will also send the information out to you. However, if you don't want to be contacted afterwards, please just speak to me, and then I'll make sure that to remove your email from that letter. But that said, what can you offer us?
I see. I see. The budget person is not here anymore.
But you're within the
yes. So because TechBBQ is really around the corner, it was such a great idea, Christian, thank you, for doing the round of introductions, because it gave me even more of a perception and perspective of like who sits where within, I suppose, the stakeholder ecosystem here. Oh, hello. You should introduce yourself. This is Chief Entertaining Officer and also Chief Stealing Attention Officer, because everyone is looking. That's quite cute. It's been a long time since I've seen a butterfly, actually.
I don't know if that's a sign in any sense, but
just say hi.
Hello, goodbye. Yeah, I guess it's not only about Denmark and Sweden. It's also different ecosystems here joining. But yes, we have discount code that we allocated for people that either join this event online or physically to come to TechBBQ, and it's a 25% off the ticket. There's different ticket types, which means, yeah, you might have some questions of where you fit in. If you haven't been to this conference, please come to ask or send us, yeah, your questions and so on, and I can help you from there. And then another thing that I would like to say, it's related to Fail Forward. Fail Forward is a company that is quite new, that tackles the failures and learnings from, yeah, whether it's startups, whether it's any sort of activity that we do in pursuit of growth. We have events in Copenhagen. Well, we had events in Copenhagen only. However, we are looking to do events in Malmö. We are doing events in Dublin, in London, and so on and so forth. We have an event now on the 4th of September where we are tackling topics like money management and bankruptcies and everything that can go wrong and how we can learn from it on that perspective. If any of you is coming around the bridge or is willing to take a trip of 25 minutes or 30 minutes, how long is the train, join in. We can send you information about that one too. So those were the two.
Thank you so much for that. So if you haven't, you're welcome to just stop by and leave your email, and then we will include you in that email with the discount code and the information about the upcoming Fail Forward event as well. So that said, I'm thinking I will open up for you guys to ask any questions you might have, and say that this has been a little bit of a start to the upcoming events where we are going to dive a little bit deeper in the different areas. So today has been a little bit for us to actually get some inputs from you. So you might have questions, but also if you have any thoughts, like I'd love to learn more about this specific niche area, and then Roxy and I will follow up on that and make sure that we can either share it digitally, or maybe we should even have a whole session, a whole event specifically on, for example, how do you introduce, or like what are the clean tech, for example, hub in Copenhagen and in Malmö, and how can the different players, entrepreneurs, innovators, or somebody who wants to work at one of those find these hubs, find these spaces, right? All right, so does anyone have any particular questions about TechBBQ or about the...
No, well, I have a question about the taxing, the tax system. I mean, let's say that companies based out in Malmö receives funding from Copenhagen, Denmark. How does the tax system work here? Do they have to pay taxes in Denmark, or it's in Sweden? How does it work? Because it's Sweden, yeah? All right.
The company says money in Sweden, you need to pay in Sweden.
Thank you.
No, this is perfect, and this
That's
is exactly
the point. Yeah.
the point of creating a community, and also sharing this information.
You're hired.
With each other.
Another thing as well, in Denmark regarding taxes, if you are a company on the stock exchange, on the Danish stock market, and you're then investing at stocks in Denmark, you pay quite a high tax. However, if you invest in not on the stock market, like startups and those ones, you will have much, pay lower tax. So it's more tax efficient for them as well. And Danish people are not like Swedes, but they don't have that history of investing as we have for such a long time. So it's quite new for them. So that's why it's very, very booming in Denmark with that, and also investing, because they're doing like the Swedish model, try to invest a lot in startups and so on. Norway is coming now as well a little bit, but they have different tax systems there. So that's why it's interesting for the Danish to invest there. And I've been trying also to talk to a lot of Danish people, Danish corporate finance people and so on, to get them invest in Swedish companies, because the Danish krona is very strong, and the Danish krona is very strong, and the Swedish krona is very weak. So it's beneficial for them to invest in Swedish companies.
You're ahead
then, of course, they need
financially,
to pay taxes in Denmark anyway, right? If
Yeah.
they benefit from that. But we have most of the IPOs done in this region is Swedish companies. And if a Danish company wants to go to the stock market, they don't go to the Danish one, they go to Stockholm, because it's bigger. So it's the biggest one in all of the whole region. So that's why I'm trying to work more with Denmark, or we.
Sounds like we might have an upcoming session about IPO and maybe even another session about financing.
To quickly say about this, on the 12th, we are also organizing a panel on TechBBQ about what we've called it, how broad is the Öresund actually for cross-country investment. So we have one person from Almi Invest, which is a VC, state VC here. We have a business angel from Denmark, and then we have a corporate governance, somebody from corporate governance from Sedemera, just to talk about how easy it is actually to get investment from both sides and receive it as a startup. So if you go to TechBBQ on the 12th, around lunchtime, 11:40, listen in.
Yeah, wonderful. And I'm actually quite excited to see some of you at TechBBQ in 2 weeks, right? Check out the program. How many speakers is it? 400? More than 400 speakers? More than 400 different speakers. So there's probably something for every single one of you, whether it is about machine learning, or it is about culture, whether it is about computer vision, or it's about food, or even fitness. So I think that is one of the things that I'm the most excited about TechBBQ, is just the width, and that it's not just about tech, and it's way more than just a barbecue.
Yeah. So, yeah, but I'm telling you, that's why I first went there. I heard barbecue. So if you're anything, you know, find one motivation, go there, and you will find other motivations and other people, and yeah, you will keep going. So that's that.
Thank you very much, all of you, for attending today.
Thank you.
As I said, there will be more sessions that are going to be more specific on different topics, whether it is different industries that are active in Copenhagen and in Malmö, so that the ecosystem in Copenhagen and Malmö can orient themselves a little bit better. For example, if I want to continue on a fitness tech idea that I have, where should I actually go? Is there any hub that is specialized on this? For example, an example that I like to use is, for example, Crinova here in our region. If you're working with food, of course you should go to a hub that is focused on food and food innovation. And now we have another one right here in Malmö. And these people, they become experts within that particular field. But we need to find them. We need to know about them. And this is something we'll dive into deeper in the coming months. So thank you very much once again. There's a little bit of fika. I believe that the coffee shop is still open for a little while longer if you want some coffee. So thank you very much once again for attending, and hope to see you soon again.
Okay. Nice to meet you.